Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Crypto Empire, where we dominate the crypto market. I appreciate your patience today while we waited for that stream to start. I got a little bit caught up, and apologies about being slightly late, but nonetheless, we will keep it moving and get right to business. Before we do get into the stream, shout out to everybody here today. We got a lot of people here in the live chat. Bullish on Parade, what's going on? I'll get to your question about Caspa in just a moment. We also got Dre. We got Scorch888. We got our guy Goraya. We got Armzilla in the building and David W. Appreciate all you guys being here. Be sure to hit that like button as you do come into the stream today. Now, let's get right into our crypto market overview. And what a week it was, right? Monday, we had the crash, the big flush out, down to $49,000 on Bitcoin. Altcoins got demolished, but we had a really, really strong recovery. As you can see here, looking at some of the majors like Solana had a recovery of 47%, which is quite impressive. And BTC as well recouped all of its losses, essentially, of 23%. Now, if we look at the weekly candle on Bitcoin, let's actually go to a cleaner chart here, to our Binance chart. If we look at our weekly candle, all right, so interesting weekly here. Weekly is green, which is impressive. However, the main thing is my line here at 60,700, and it would be very impressive if we were to close the weekly candle above 60,700. And also, with that being said, you also have to consider how it was such an aggressive sell-off, such an aggressive rebound bounce. And where did price bounce to? Directly to resistance. All right. So like I typically say, I am a crypto bull. However, here in the shorter term time frames, specifically like the last few weeks of August, I really don't see many catalysts to see this market take off. Okay. Crypto likes to move at specific times. And in between those short specific times, it is very, very dry, very boring, and quite frustrating and emotional for the majority of market participants. And like I said, I just don't see a major catalyst right now to go ahead and, for us to see, say, new all-time highs in the month of August. All right, so I'll get further into this as we do dive deeper into the stream. Let's go ahead and continue with our market overview. And again, with that being said, right, we just had the Ethereum ETF, major catalyst, right? Major narrative that's behind us now. The halving is behind us. What's next? Well, the election is next, right? So that's going to take place on November. I believe it's November 5th. And a lot of crazy things are happening. This is Polymarket. It's basically you can gamble with crypto. And there's a lot of people betting on the election this year. And as you can see, Kamala Harris has a 52% chance of winning at this moment in time. Trump at 46%. So this is, I would say, the next main narrative for the crypto market. We also, have rate cuts coming up in September, which, like I said in my video earlier in the week, that's usually bearish in the short term because there's a delayed reaction until the stimulus actually kicks in. All right, so rate cuts typically bearish in the short term. That's September. So really, yeah, just to get to the point, November is like the next main narrative. And usually how things work is around 40 days before the narrative date is when, the market really, really takes off. For example, OXO, right? You guys remember the NVIDIA GTC conference in March? Remember how that was the top of the AI pump? It was the top of the big pump for every single AI coin going into that conference. Well, that took place on around March 20th. And around 40 days, February 8th, the market started to take off, and it actually topped 10 days before. All right. So that's how these narratives typically like to work. All right. The market prices it in early, and it's always a sell the news event. So anyways, that's a little bit of a forecast of how I'm looking the rest of the year to shape up. And I do plan to get into more of that, some more details as we do go throughout the live stream. But yeah, I just want to kind of go over my general thoughts before we really dive into altcoins and the main subjects of this stream, which will include as well the main mistakes to avoid. because right now it's a very emotional time and it's very easy to make silly mistakes that's going to cost you big time. Let's see what's going on here in our live chat. We got Future183 says, yo, C, what up? What's up, my guy, Future183? Armsdilla says, smash the like button. Storming the Castle says, good morning, lovely crypto lads. Good morning, mate. Bullish on Parade, AI Tech, one of his favorite AI plays. Yeah, let's get into your question, Bullish on Parade. So he says, yo, my dude, thank you for taking the time to stream today. I'm curious about Caspa. A lot of people are bullish on it, but it doesn't have very many good exchanges. Thoughts? So in regards to Caspa's exchanges, it's kind of listed everywhere now, but like Coinbase and Binance in a sense. Let's go ahead and take a look at where it's listed. All right, Gate, BitGet, KuCoin, Bybit's huge. Is that Bybit Spot? Should be, right? Let's see. Yeah, they have it on Bybit Spot, which is very clutch. NMEXC and BingX. So look, crypto is a very interesting place in the sense that most normies, right, they don't touch any of these exchanges. They don't use Gate, they don't use BitGet, they don't use KuCoin, they don't use Bybit, they don't use MEXC, they don't use BingX. They usually only use, say, Coinbase. Okay, so this is a lot of listings. These are like the main listings besides Coinbase and Binance, which are like the main two. Okay, you can throw Kraken in there as well, maybe, for like the major tier 1 exchanges. I mean, but this is pretty decent. So just to kind of answer that part of the question in regards to the exchange listings, I don't see much of an issue with it personally. All you need to do is put in your email address and you can make an account on any of these exchanges and you can buy Caspa. So there's very little barrier to entry, even without it being on Coinbase or Binance. And yeah, I mean, in regards to why people are bullish on it, it's very strong fundamentals, very strong cult community, which is a very important thing in crypto. But anyways, hope that answers your question. Scorch says, have you trained today? Indeed, we have. Also, AI Tech, I got more on the dip. It's one of my favorite AI plays. Let's take a look at AI Tech because I like that coin as well for the AI narrative. So on the weekly, it looks pretty typical for, you know, an AI coin. Let's actually go ahead and pull up our Binance Smart Chain chart so we can get all of the data. Current market cap, 55 million. Now, this is quite the run, right? I mean, this is it's so funny looking back, right? Because I remember even in, say, March, April, May, looking at the charts and being like, damn, like this is what the bull market looks like, right? This is what a parabolic pump looks like. You know, AI and, say, real world asset and meme coins, they're kind of the only charts that ended up looking like this, but nonetheless, we still got bull market pumps in a lot of assets, right? So yeah, I mean, amazing pump. I think AI is going to do really well, say, next year. There's a ton of catalysts for AI in general, not just crypto specific, right? Crypto AI coins, they react off of the artificial intelligence industry that's not related to crypto. And there's a ton of things, development for AI next year. I mean, the rate of technological advancement doubles every single year. So yeah, I mean, the world's moving very quick and I think AI is going to boom, but this chart it's still in a downtrend. It hasn't entered, say, into its sideways accumulation, right? It goes sideways, but it continues to make lower highs and then lower lows. I like the idea of DCAing. I don't think it's a bad idea, especially when the coin's down like 90%, 80% from the all-time high, 85%. But for sure, I do think this will have to find a base at a bottom before it actually goes on another one of these insane runs. So let's look for this low to hold over here at 5 cents. I think this green zone is going to end up being a pretty good buying area in general. But again, don't be surprised if it drops, say, what is this, another 30% to the bottom of the zone here? It's another 44%, and it's possible, right? I mean, looking at this chart, let's say somebody's going to long this chart. They take an entry here. Where are they going to put their stop? Maybe below this low. Let's change the color of this pencil. Maybe below that low. Maybe, say, below this low here. I mean, the main place is going to be below this low. So where does price want to go? Probably sweep that low, grab that liquidity, and then maybe chop around and then run. So anyways, AI Tech, great AI coin. Just generally speaking, looking at the structure of this chart, I mean, Cubic would be the same thing, right? AI coins in general, they're all the same. They all look almost identical, all their chart structures. So patience will be needed. Patience will be needed for sure, but bullish on Parade. You've been, here in the live chat for years, I believe. So I think you're pretty seasoned in the crypto game. So I'm pretty sure you know that already. Raphael says, bonjour, Connor. What's going on, Raphael? Thoughts on Cat Dog, meme coin that I really haven't heard of or looked at. So I can't really give you my thoughts on it. Let's see. We got a bit of a vent here from our guy, Season 3 OG. He's venting in the live chat. He says, the only problem I have is that everything has the same information and too many people are bullish. And as well, we all know everyone can't make money. It just doesn't work that way. Of course. I mean, that's the game. Crypto is a zero-sum game. When you take money out of the market, somebody else put that money in basically. And think of the market like this. If the market was a person, it would be the most master manipulator, like two-faced trickster there is. The market is designed to make the most amount of people lose money. That's how the market works. So that's why the skills pay the bills. It all comes down to your skill set, right? You say everybody has the same information. Yeah, we're in the information age. It's not hard to get information. It's about how you process that information and about how you act on it. All right. That is your edge. You are the difference. You, the individual, you determine every result that you get in your life. So it's probably a common, problem you have, right? You said the only problem you have is this. I think that's pretty common. A lot of people think that, but it comes down to you, the individual. Skills pay the bills. Who are you as a person? Will you make the right choices to get you to your goals? And yeah, everybody can't make money. Absolutely. That's why you need to be better than others. It's a very competitive market, highly competitive, right? You got people. I mean, this is the finance world. You guys know how Wall Street works. They're on stimulants all day long. They're locked in. They're focused. You're going up against the biggest and the best in the world here. So yeah, very competitive industry. Anyway, Crypto Storm says, Wall Street, pay the market makers to make sure it stays low. If you know, you know. So yeah, I mean, let's get into this price action a little bit in my forecast for, say, the rest of the summer. So again, nuke 50 or 49K, strong rebound right to 60,000. Now, again, my line here in this chart, 60,700, 60,800. It would be quite bullish if a weekly candle did close above this yellow dotted line. As it stands right now, we are slightly below it. That can change by the time of the weekly candle close. But even if we did run back up to, say, $68.5 thousand up here, I would be very, very careful about, again, like new all-time highs in the month of August. There's just no juice right now. There's very, very little juice. It's still summer, right? At the beginning of summer, I was into the idea of, say, a bullish summer, but the seasonality kicked in and we got the summertime lull like we do every single year, basically, right? All the big money, I mean, finance guys, they all go on vacation with their families. People in general, not just them, people in general traveling. There's no juice right now in crypto, and the next narrative is the election. So yeah, I would be very careful if we did see a quick move back up to 68.5 again. Even if we didn't go sweep the highs and make new all-time highs, I still would be quite careful if it happened in the month of August. September as well. There's sell in May and go away, right? Usually the markets kind of flip bullish in May or flip bearish in May, and September is also historically a pretty bloody month. We usually do nuke in September. So, I mean, I think we do go higher, but I don't think we're out of this yet. Just to make it clear, my stance on the market. All right. The yearly open still untagged at 42. Bitcoin's very strong. There's a lot of demand for Bitcoin. ETF flows are still positive. All right. So that's why price has not tested the yearly open yet. Well, a lot of other coins, including Ethereum, have. If we're going to like nuke or we get some more war scares, we're going to the yearly open at 42. If not, even if we retested the lows over here at 49, 48, people would be freaking out. They would be hysterical again, just like they were on Monday, right? The fear would be peaking, and it would be another one of those. I mean, it would be another flush out, even if we just went and swept 50K again. So yeah, I'm not convinced we are out of the woods. I'm not convinced we're going to make new all-time highs in the month of August. I think it's still a good time to stay patient and, you know, continue to accumulate the coins that you want. If you're fully allocated already, basically it's do nothing but sit on your hands until it's time to take action. And one last thing in regards to Bitcoin here in the overall market, if we do see a further bounce here, I think a lot of people are going to consider de-risking. I think a lot of people are overexposed, and they felt that a lot during the dip on Monday. So if we do see an aggressive pump quickly up here, back up towards the highs, I think a lot of people are considering de-risking money off of the table, stabling up a little bit. And that is something to consider if you are overexposed in the market and you can't sleep good at night, you know, because you put all your money into crypto and you're just watching it basically go down through the summertime chop we're having. All right. So know your position. Know what amounts you feel comfortable with. And it's not a risk-on environment right now. Not yet. So just stay patient. Let's see. Future says the catalyst for retail will probably be pricing in rate cuts coming September 17th. That's the play getting prior to major listings. I know what you mean. That will be a catalyst. We're going to have a million tweets on crypto Twitter from people saying rate cuts so bullish. And we probably will see a reaction. But again, rate cuts historically are pretty bad actually for price action until the stimulus kicks in. So we'll see how it goes. Armzilla says there's a Kraken listing coming soon for Kaz. We got King Louie. We got TT as well. What's going on, TT? Good morning. With Caspa exchanges, just showed us the normal exchanges like Coinbase and Binance. All good, all good. Caspa is my most profitable bag and the only one I'm still up on despite all the dips. Yeah, Caspa and Tau, those were by far my best buys of 2023. Two main buys and two of the best buys I made in 2023. Let's see. TT says, can you look into Bomi and Ton? Book of Meme. All right. So this thing launched in March and it has been going completely sideways. It's not a horrible looking chart. Multiple bounces from the same kind of area here. Not a bad looking chart. The insiders are for sure, propping this thing up. You have to consider the fact it's still up 130x from the bottom. And say people bought it on the second day. It's still up 3x. So here's what I see. I see a chart slowly kind of bleeding out, making continuous lower highs and lower lows. All right, this isn't a downtrend. lower highs and lower lows. So I don't love it. I see no reason to love it right now. Let's go ahead and get some FIB extensions up on here. All right, so it's at the 88.6 as we speak. I don't know. I wouldn't put money into this personally. There's a lot of liquidity for sure. There's also people. Let's see our holders, top traders. Yeah, I don't know. I don't love this play. It's a slow bleed out right now on a high market cap meme coin. I don't see much opportunity personally. And then taking a look at Ton here. So Ton's interesting. I actually wanted to talk about Ton today because I thought this was a really interesting tweet in regards to the Ton blockchain. And the reason why Ton is so popular right now is because people are basically just using it to farm airdrops, like the Notcoin airdrop or the hamster airdrop, where they're just like tapping their phone aggressively. And they really only care about the airdrop, right? So let's see. This guy says retailers onboarding into Telegram are kind of lazy because all they focus on is tapping, while there are opportunities that will cost only $50 to participate in, like Open League and specific projects that were doing airdrops. He says that Ton blockchain should put more efforts into realistic and better educative content about Ton and opportunities around it. So basically, they're just using dopamine to get people onto Ton. And that will not last forever. And I mean, this chart, it's one of the best charts in crypto. Ton's been an amazing performer this year. I'd just be quite weary. I mean, it didn't even take out these lows on the dip. Right, you have a low at 476 and a low at 460 that has not been taken. And you have that listening candle high at 356. I mean, it's just bearish divergence after bearish divergence after bearish divergence on this chart. I hate to be the bear here, but it's not looking good, bruv. All right, so for Ton, if you want to buy, this is your level. Let's be real here, folks. $4 to $3.30. $4 to $3.30 is your level for Ton. Possibly, if we see moves up to the yearly open, probably a really good shorting opportunity. And it's a pretty easy invalidation, being that you just put the stop above the highs and you look to grab this thing down to say $4. But yeah, Ton right now, again, there's very little energy, steam in the market. Ton pumped because people were getting onto the Telegram blockchain to tap the hamster wheel and Notcoin airdrop. Right? Very smart by the Ton team to reward people dopamine for using their blockchain. Tap, 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 staring at their phone. But it's not sustainable. And these kind of real world things play out in the market. They always seem to. So yeah, Ton. I mean, at least wait for the 476 line to get sweeps before you do anything on this one. Crypto Middle East and Africa, aka Sharif. He says, "Hey Connor, how are you doing, man? Hope all is fine with you." Thank you, Sharif. All is fine. I've been buying the last dip. That's what Chads do. Chads buy the dip. Good to hear that, Sharif. Good to hear from you. Scorch says, "What do you think about LCX?" So this is the World Economic Forum coin. Really bad tokenomics. I don't like this coin. Long story short, not a fan of the WEF. Not a fan of using this exchange, right? If you go to their website, you'll see infrastructure that enables clients to trade, store, and invest crypto assets in a regulated and secure way. This is not my favorite coin at all. I know it did perform quite well this year. Yeah, you really had to buy it in November last year. Pulled around an 8x to the highs, 8, 9x, which is not bad. And in terms of this year, we just tagged the yearly open on the flush out. It went 3x this year. Now, this weekly chart's interesting because of this. This is interesting. So if you look at the move this year, with the idea in mind that, you know, we're going to have the true altcoin season when Bitcoin dominance hits 60% and then starts to drop from there, which most likely is going to happen end of this year, early next year at this point. And if you look at this chart with price testing resistance up here, this chart looks like it's potentially setting up for a parabolic move into price discovery. It kind of has that formation, right? In a bull market, this resistance gets broken through and it goes on a run. Now, again, I don't like this coin, but personal things aside, just looking at the market structure, the chart structure, just to give you a different perspective, let's go ahead and invert it. Inverted gives us a slightly different picture. Basically bounce from the bottom, pump up here to this resistance. I mean, this looks like a place, and this is inverted, right? So yeah, this looks like a place that wants to drop. It's actually go up. Tap of the yearly open as well. However, with that being said, I mean, we're on a weekly. Let's drop this to a daily. Yeah. Let's be real for a second as well. And again, price really likes to visit the origins of moves. And, you know, this is not necessarily the origin of the move. This is not the origin of the move. The yearly open is not the origin of the move. The origin of the move is really when price broke resistance and started to run, it was here. So anyways, just to answer this question, what do I think about LCX? Don't love the coin, don't like its fundamentals. Looking at this analysis, might not be a bad pick for the bull market, especially with the possibility of breaking out above 68 cents into price discovery. If I wanted to buy, I would, it's not a bad time here, but I would possibly wait for at least the yearly open at 10, and then I'd be looking at 7.5 for slightly lower. RWA AI memes, GameFi. So RWA AI and memes pumped. GameFi did pump off the bottom in October, November last year, but really there's only a select few gaming projects that performed this year. Off the top of my head, I'll show you them. There's Naka performed this year, even though price is now below the yearly open. It mainly performed last year, right? It started the year out at $1.72. It started to run. I mean, December 2022 was the bottom. So anyways, Naka was a performer. Altura was a performer. If you look at where it started the year, right? It's a bad chart to show you. Again, you had to buy the bottom of GameFi in October. You really made no money on it. Yeah, Altura, good run. Big Time was a good one. Again, you had to buy in October, November last year. GameFi has been a very underperforming, underwhelming narrative this cycle. It caught a bid late last year when there was like GTA 6 news. I think that was a big catalyst actually for GameFi to pump. You guys remember the speculation around GTA 6 making an announcement. Just that thing alone can cause a sector in crypto to pump. That's how emotional the market is. But yeah, I still think it's wise to have at least one GameFi exposure project in your portfolio. But I wouldn't classify the narrative in the same league as AI, memes, and real-world assets. What's going on, Jasper? Future 183. Everyone can make money, but not everyone cashes out. That's very true. And that's a key mistake to avoid is you basically have to pay yourself when the market rewards your decisions, right? Like I said earlier in the stream, crypto moves very, very short, specific, sporadic time periods. And then for 80% of the time, it comes down to the 80-20 principle again, right? Like the majority of the money is made 20% of the time. 80% of the time, the market does nothing. But during that 20%, you really need to capitalize. And when you buy stuff during the 80% of boring times, if you don't sell during that 20% when the market's pumping and your bags are up huge and, you're catching all these multiples, 10Xs, 20Xs, 50Xs, it will all disappear as we see, looking at every single chart in the crypto market right now, besides Caspa, really besides Caspa and Tau. But even still, right, if you didn't pull any profits up here, 700, it hurts. So, yeah, that's for sure a key mistake to avoid. Understand the 80-20 principle. You're going to make money in the crypto market unless you're actively trading. Right? If you're an active trader, you're making money all the time. However, if you're an investor, you're only going to be making money 20% of the time. The other 80% of the time is basically waiting, sitting on your hands, taking positions when the time's right, when the market gives you good entries. But if you don't cash out during that 20% of the time, all your hard work will go to waste, and you'll have to wait for that next time period, which again only comes like a few times a year. So key mistake to avoid. Another key mistake to avoid is obviously don't sell during capitulation. Goes without saying. It's a battle-tested crypto rule. Times of max fear, it's not the time to puke your bags. If anything, that's the time to add. And just don't be overly emotional. Right? Don't invest more than you can afford to lose, and it's going to make your crypto experience much more enjoyable. But it's so easy to make these mistakes because most people are just acting purely off of emotions. When you do that, you just get wrecked in the market. Because remember, again, like I said, if the market was a person, it would be the most two-faced manipulative bastard out there. Right? It's out there to get you. So you need to outsmart it. See what's coming next, like Neo seeing the Matrix. Anyways, we got Caspa. Jeremy says 80% Caspa, 10% Brett, and the rest are degen plays. I sleep like a baby. Respect. Can't say anything bad about that. Yeah, can't say anything bad about that, man. Check out Gari. Oh man, you ask me about Gari every stream. This is that streaming platform. Again, my thoughts haven't changed. A very high risk project, very competitive niche they're in. It's a social media platform. You're going against Telegram. You're going against Elon and Twitter, YouTube, Instagram. Like, I don't see a lot of people using this. I've seen these projects pop up and then die every cycle. I see no reason that I would want to buy this project personally. TED on sale. TED's been on sale. Ted didn't even capitulate during the crash because everybody, or not everybody. I mean, I actually didn't even sell. Buying it at $8, I rode my bag all the way down. But yeah, the majority of selling of TET happened between March and July. Right, it barely made a lower low. Most coins got completely smashed. So yeah, I mean, TET chart wise does not look good. Fundamentally speaking, I still think it's a solid play. That's why I haven't reallocated the TET I have to say something else in the portfolio. Down 89%. And out of curiosity, just to do a little bit of a comparison here, lads. Cubic is down 85%. Wow. Yeah, TET for sure on sale. It's so cheap where like you don't even have to put in that much, and compare to all the previous 6 months, like you can pay a fraction of what you were paying over the past few months for the same amount of coins. So yeah, I mean, crazy prices compared to what we saw earlier this year, when price was 30 to 40 bucks. Not the first coin that I, would say buy if I was going to keep adding and buying things. But it's on sale. I can't disagree with you there. And that's another mistake, right? Adding just too many coins to your portfolio. At this point, I do like my main bags. I like my coins. I like my portfolio. I don't want to say add new coins unless I find something really awesome. I would just add to my existing bags. That's a huge mistake a lot of people make, where they think they need it. If they have money to put into the market, they're going to buy a new coin. And then the next month they're going to buy another new coin. And then before they know it, they got 50 different coins and they don't even know how to organize anything. They don't know where their crypto is, on which wallets, on which devices. Right? They're running around like a chicken with their head cut off. So avoid that mistake. Caspa, Tau, solid. They are very solid projects. Deboga, I think we will have another leg down before starting the bull run. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm saying here, right? I see no steam. I see no energy. I see no reason right now for the market to go and aggressively break out above new all-time highs, above 73K. That will come. I do believe we're still in a bull market. I'm just not convinced at all we're out of the woods yet. If I had to say guess on the timing, which is very hard to do, so do not quote me on this, but off the top of my head, I would say second half of September is when things would, say, start turning around for the better. Expect more chop, expect more emotion. Again, if we see a big pump up here to 68K, even if we go above and even if we say test the highs, I think a lot of people are going to be de-risking. And I'm just not convinced we're out of the woods yet. So I do kind of agree with you there. We could go lower for sure. That yearly open sitting untapped. Future 183. Are you familiar with Ka? What is that one? Moon Tropica. Yeah, that's it. It's a gaming coin. I'm not too familiar with it. I've heard of it. I've looked at it slightly. But it's not something I'm crazy familiar with at all. Check out VXR, which has live game and play to earn since launch. Micro cap, easy 5x to 10x. Crypto gaming is so interesting. There's a reason why the market loves memes, right? These game developers spend all their time building these games out. Nobody really plays them, and it's just people gambling and speculating on the token price. Basically, they're all meme coins, basically. Anyway, we'll take a look at VXR. All right, so this thing is around 1 month old, putting in a nice move. However, it's a 310K market cap. You know, you say easy 5x to 10x. I mean, it's a very high risk play. Again, this is a meme coin basically. All right, the game looks like it was made in like a week. Not to discredit the makers of the game because they're doing something that I can't. But it's a meme. I would treat that as a meme coin trade. But anyway, future. Thank you for sharing. Stack Brett on base for 2025. I don't think it's a bad idea to have Brett in your portfolio. Crash is a very good CEO for the project, keeping it, active, keeping the community always engaged, making sure that people are constantly thinking about Brett. So it's good to have somebody like that leading the helm. Now the chart, you're rejecting off of resistance. Basically, it's not looking too good right now. I would be looking at your local support level at 8.2 cents. I mean, it's pretty obvious why it bounced from where it did. It's just going to be interesting to see if the support holds. Because here's the thing with Bread. Again, it's at a 917 mil market cap, right? This thing was released like every other meme coin and then shared publicly at like 2 to 3 million down here in February. So there's still people that in the open market that bought early. If they haven't taken profits yet, they're in massive profits. There's still the cabal that owns 80%. What I'm trying to say is that there's a lot of people that can sell and push the price lower. There's a lot of people that are in massive profits still here. So if we're going to be straight up, here, there's a decent chance this thing comes back to 500 million below market cap, say 450 million, back to this bottom zone. I'm not sure. The meme coin super cycle is going to kick off in August, and there's a lot of days left here. A lot of time for people to puke their positions and cause the price to come down here. So yeah, I actually, I bought Bread up here at around $1 billion. I would not touch it. I would not buy any more until 4.8 million. Chart looks kind of cooked. I mean, this thing went up 300x. I'm not sure. Like, Crash is a legend. He turns his 15 grand and it's worth 7 million right now. I'm just not fully convinced at the moment that people will be able to hold, will be able to continue holding the way that he is. Of course, there's going to be diehards, but there's so many people in massive profits that there's a decent chance it sees 500 million at this point. Shout out to Castillo. Absolutely. Hoppy looking good. See, a Hoppy trolled me. I talked about this one previously. I bought the wrong Hoppy. That's another thing with meme coins, right? You can buy the the right coin, say, but it's the wrong contract address, and you missed out on the 100x. Happened to me here with Hoppy, and I'm pretty sure this is what you're talking about. Decent bounce. Below that level, I mean, I would still be cautious. If it can convincingly reclaim this level, then I would say it's looking good. Right now, it's putting in a nice bounce, but again, not fully out of the woods. FET and AI space has uber potential. Popcorn and Soul popular in Asia. Ondo partner with BlackRock. 2. Thank you for that. Appreciate it, fiat hater. Which token has best tokenomics? Which token has best tokenomics? I mean, I like fair launched coins. I like coins where the VCs don't hold the majority of the supply that they bought at pre-sale prices, at seed round prices. So with that being said, which coins have the best tokenomics? Fair launches. Tau is decent. Caspa is decent. Cubic fixed a big part of the issue by reducing their FDV by 80%. I think Airdrop has actually really good tokenomics as well. That one was fair game for the longest time. It still is. But yeah, I mean, I'd say Tau, Cas are pretty good. Are the coins I hold. Does SMH still have potential to be the Matic of the bull run, or should we sell it for something else? I'm still bullish on SMH, right? There's nothing it's getting beaten and battered right now. There's no doubt about that. But there's been many coins in previous cycles and even say this cycle that have moved in similar nature, 89 or 80, 90% drop, and then went on to pull, hundreds of X's. So yeah, I think that it still has potential to do really well. I think even say a smaller size position has potential to turn into huge sums of money, right? A few $1,000 if you catch a 50, 100X, which is possible, especially from these prices. You don't need a crazy high position size to make a very, very healthy profit. So yeah, I still think it's worth it to hold SMH. Now, I understand, if you're in pain because your entries were at suboptimal times. I bought this at $2, right? So I'm bleeding a little bit as well, a little bit, but yeah, I'll see it through. It wasn't like I full ported, multiple six figures into the coin at once at $2, right? Took a starter position, and if anything, at this point, I would consider adding more for me personally. Let's see. Topi says, good evening. What's your thoughts on Sui? Testing an important level. It might fall from here or just hold. One moment. All right, let's see. Sui right now. Very aggressive bounce from these lows. I mean, 100% pump from the bottom. You love to see that. Is it going to keep going? Most likely not. Why is that? Well, I mean, you're in major resistance. You have your two EMAs, your 100 simple moving average, blue line. You have your daily 200 EMA here at 99 cents. The $1 psychological round number. So yeah, I'm not too convinced on this to continue to pump. 1 hour is telling us to short. With this pretty obvious bearish divergence. I mean, the bearish divergence does not get more clear or picture perfect than this. This is a short. First target would be the quarterly open, which is a 9% move. Second target would be the yearly open, which is a 14% move. Third target would be the monthly open, which is a 21% move. Now, in regards to BTC, especially if we lose 59.6, which, yeah, if we lose 60 to 59K here, that Sui short's going to play out beautifully. And Bitcoin does look like it is coming down to test 59K now. So yeah, this Sui short's looking pretty decent, lads. It's looking pretty decent. Let's go check out some other metrics that I look at. USDT dominance on the rise, which is an inverse correlation with our risk on assets. So yeah, this if this goes ahead and breaks out above this level, above 5.6%, 5.65%, then that Sui short's going to pay out. So yeah, Sui's a short. You know your stop loss. I mean, metrics are in place. Some people might want to take a higher entry and wait. There's a chance you don't get filled. But that's going to allow you to play your stop much more aggressively, and less risk on the trade. So I would alert it. But yeah, this is a short. Anyway, Topi, good to have you here in the chat, man. Thank you. Always truth content. Armando, no worries, brother. Always appreciate your support. Future, thank you for answering my G. No problem, brother. Neural AI, combining AI and gaming. Yeah, Neural is BitTensor's best subnet, basically. This one here. This is very bullish. I don't own this myself, but I have looked into it. From what I've seen, checks out. And the general consensus around this project from people that actually know what they're talking about is that it's quite bullish. So yeah, good play to look into. It is a low market cap, but should do well with Tau and the AI narrative coming back. Especially if Tau performs something like this, which is, somewhat related, it's really going to perform hard. Aggressive pump in July, pulling multiples. And, people will see, this is coming back to our common mistakes to avoid. Right? People will see a 200% move and say it's too overvalued. I'm not going to buy it. And I get that. However, you need to look at every metric. And the market cap at 40 million, it's still very low with where it can go. So with that being said, all right, so we're holding that. Let's go reverse this fib. Why is my fib not reversed on deck screener? All right, perfect bounce at the 61.8 retracement. I think you'll be able to buy this lower if you want to buy it lower, around $2.30. But yeah, good coin. Can't hate. Season 3 OG in regards to Brett has some interesting takes, and I kind of agree with him here. He says 15K to 14 million back to 7 million is pure greed. I don't care what anyone says. I would have cashed out and came back next market cycle comfortably. Season 3 OG, I agree with you 100%. I'll be careful about my language. I don't want to say like the wrong words, get like taken down off of YouTube, but it is crazy. But if you understand that it's all a big marketing stunt, then you get it, right? You gotta see through the matrix, lads. You gotta be able to see what's going on here. Not everything is as appears. Not everything is as it appears. Objects in the rearview mirror may be closer than they are, as they say, right? A lot of illusions out there in smoke screens. Again, know the game. Is it a big marketing stunt? Of course it is. Duh. Yeah, anyways, I agree. Any sensible person would have cashed out 10 million, 14 million bucks and left. But Crash's job is not finished, man. He's got a vision in his head, and he's going to keep on working to make that vision happen. And truthfully, you can't hate on him because what he's done is impressive. No matter if you dislike him as a person or whatever, you have to respect that hustle. What he's done, I really haven't seen anybody else do with Brett. So respect the game. Don't hate the player, hate the game. But yeah, it's a big marketing stunt. So that's why he didn't cash it out. We got a super chat from Future. $5 super chat. Thank you, brother. Right Stream and Chirply. These are not coins that I really have a lot of interest in. 2 million market cap. I mean, crazy risk. And Chirply as well. I'm pretty sure that has something to do with AI, but like not really. This chart, fundamentals aside, it looks really bad. And then Chirply. Yeah, nah, come on. Things cooked. I remember people talking about it earlier in the year when the AI narrative was kicking off, and I don't know, it just never interested me. It did run. It did pull a 5x. But I mean, Tau pulled a 20x, right? Like, nah, I don't like those coins. Sorry, KZia. Those are not my favorite. What's going on, Raja? Great to have you here today, my man. ADA has the best launch. Not sure what you mean by that. Are there tokens being built on Caspa? Yeah, no, they keep on delaying the KRC20s. Keep on delaying those. Let's see, Mohammed, bro, do you guys have any airdrops that I can do to get some money? I mean, all the main airdrops kind of hit, right? Like Layer 0, Blast, ZK Sync, got all of those. There is, I'll make a video on it. Basically, Pudgy Penguins is building a Layer 2 blockchain. And that seems to be the only airdrop to farm right now. There's Monad you can farm, but you need to grind in their Discord, like you're grinding for an NFT whitelist spot, which is not something I'm too interested in. You can look into the Monad airdrop, but it's kind of late, and also it's a lot of work required. And then yeah, that Pudgy Penguins Layer 2, I would look into those two. But other than that, all the airdrop content you see from YouTubers, right? Like the reward for doing the tasks is just not really there, right? The main ones, sure, it's worth it. But right now, the main ones just happened, and I would look into the ones I mentioned, Monad and the Pudgy Penguins layer 2. What do you think about Warren Buffett selling his risky positions? Yeah, I mean, Warren Buffett. Some say he's the greatest investor of all time, and he does have numbers to prove that. Stonks. Anyways, what do I think about Warren Buffett selling his risky positions? Well, I mean, he's obviously anticipating a risk-off environment by doing that. All right, maybe he sees a recession coming with the September rate cuts. Maybe he plans to re-enter into his risky positions after, we get the rate cuts, and right before the stimulus comes in, he's going to enter. Again, I don't know. But yeah, obviously he's preparing for risk-off environment, and I mean, he did quite well by avoiding this nuke. So I don't know. We'll see how it all shapes up, but he did it for a reason. I'm not sure what his exact reason is, but there's a reason behind everything. Let's see. We got All Day Dre says, which will have more long-term adoption, Popcat or Ponky? Popcat already hit a billy. Mostly Popcat. Ponky's hella slept on. I'm very surprised it hasn't hit 1 billy yet. Yeah, so Ponky for sure has more long-term adoption. Nothing really competes with Ponky in terms of their brand presence because they're building an actual brand. Popcat really only pumped hard because of Ansem and the Solana kind of cartel. Right, that's the only reason Popcat pumped off so hard. All the main shillers on Solana pushed that thing. It's a coordinated push. Ponky is much, much, much more organic. And I mean, let's look at some metrics. Let's look at some metrics. Where's their 382K followers on Instagram? Their reels are getting millions, hundreds of thousands of views. I mean, it's very hard to compete with this kind of market share, mind share. Twitter, 127K. I mean, yeah, this thing it reached critical mass. So Ponky for sure over Popcat. Popcat, like I said, a very coordinated pump. It's just not the same. Organic compared to an insider scheme, I'd say. Dre says, smash the like. Appreciate that, Dre. Silva Dallas, smash the like, everyone. Thoughts on Exchange and Dual? I mean, Exchange still has like the best technology in DeFi. I still think it's worth it to hold this. This has always been, say, a late mover. I've always classified a late mover. Going back to the ebook that I released, coming up on a year now in September. Right, it was last year I was writing this thing. It seems like yesterday. But coming back to the ebook here, which you haven't read, you should read. But yeah, Change has always been classified as a late mover that's not going to pump until the end of the cycle. And it's doing that exactly. What do I think? I think it's still a very good project. I think it's worth holding as an asymmetric bet. Yeah, I still like Change. Now, Dual, I mean, gaming AI coin, 7 million market cap. Can this come back? I think it has the potential to. But yeah, this is not, say, in the same category. This is much more degen. This is much, much, much more degen than something like Exchange. They're not of the same class of crypto. Not all cryptos are built the same, and this is a much more degen play. I mean, this thing had an epic pump. It's now making new all-time lows. Not really looking great, to be frank with you. Let's see if they're still doing their Twitter spaces, which I mean at this point, can that help? I mean, team seems very competent. I think this can come back. Just because I know I've been following this project from the very, very early days, right? When they were Rainmaker games. If they keep working, which they most likely will, I do think it has the potential to come back. Can I review VEXT? Media Group. $1.7 million market cap. It released a year ago. It's been down only. There's nothing to review here, man. Like, this thing is cooked. I would not touch this. Like, nah. I'm not sure where you heard of this, who told you to look into it or buy it, but I would never take their crypto information again. It did nothing for a year but go down. It's obviously a huge cash grab by the team insiders. Anyways, ORN will be rebranding as Lumia. What do you think about that? Is that a good low cap RWA play? Haven't really heard of it. It's not on my radar. And I'm pretty in the loop when it comes to RWA plays. So this would not be a play I would consider. Also, this is not a play. I mean, look, it had a cycle where it went from $1 to 20, 30 bucks. You know my stance on those old cycle coins. We want, say, new ones. I would not touch this. If I was going to look into RWA plays, I would look into something like Rio. I would look into something like my video. Smart Markets is an interesting one. SMT. I would look into something like Maple. I think is a decent one to look into and consider at 100 million market cap. But ORN is just not something I would consider. Let's see. Any thoughts on Dion? Don't like it. IXS and Rio. IXS is another one I would consider if I was looking to play the RWA narrative. Most likely will pump when RWAs pump. In that same kind of category as Rio, Maple, and some of the other ones. I think with the VIX hit, the liquidation volume, the death cross, and the uncertainty right now, a couple of fear and greed index that the lows are end. Time will tell. I definitely understand that argument. And even if the low is in, it doesn't mean we can't experience more pain. Which is why I'm saying I just don't see, like, say, new all-time highs in August. All right, even if this was the low at $49,000, doesn't mean we can't come down to 54 again, to 51, to 50. And it would cause a lot of the same panic and fear and capitulation that we already saw, this previous Monday. So there's a lot. I mean, don't get me wrong, future. I completely get it. And it can go either way. Of course, right? The market's always right. Yearly open sitting here. I mean, decent chance that it doesn't get tagged just because there's so much demand for Bitcoin. But yeah, even if this was the low, it doesn't mean we can't do some of this, maybe some of this, maybe some of this, right? Just max pain and then bang, we take off when the time is right. Again, it comes down to the 80-20 principle. You make your money in crypto as an investor 20% of the time. 80% of the time, it is waiting. It's sitting through or adding to your bags during capitulation. That's 80% of the time. It's amazing, the 80-20 principle, how it's like every aspect of life it plays out. Anyways, Titan X. Raja, my man, I'm not sure about this one. I know there's a lot of question marks with this project. Yeah, something like this. Playing with fire. I forget what this thing does, but I think it's some kind of DeFi like. Okay, it's a miner. Yeah, I mean, just continuous dilution. That's why the chart looks like it does. The chart looks like people are just constantly selling, and that's exactly why. It's exactly what is happening. It's just constant selling. Because of the dilution from people mining it or whatever they're doing, and they're selling their rewards. It's like Hex, basically. It's a big Ponzi. So it's not something I would put my money into. Thoughts on Weco? Yeah, decent. Very small, like you said, very low market cap. It's a 3 million market cap. It's a micro cap is what it is. Fundamentals are decent. Could be a moonshot in the RWA narrative. Chart looks healthy. This is the weekly chart as well. This thing's been around since May 2023, a year and a half. I mean, yeah, pretty healthy looking chart, huh? Very aggressive move off of the lows. I mean, there's 150. This is a meme coin as it stands right now when it comes to its, say, liquidity and market cap. So it's a 213% move off of the lows, but how much buying did it actually take to push it? Anyways, this is a micro cap, right? So, I mean, as an asymmetric bet, makes sense in the RWA niche. It's not something you put like crazy size into at all. Is Doge, the boomer meme coins, cooked or still of consequence? I think it's going to perform in the bull run. I think when Elon integrates his X payments, if he puts Doge in there, it can send it directly to, say, 50 cents. Right, we can see one weekly candle up to this level at 50 cents if Elon integrates it into X, which he probably will at some point, because Elon, like, Doge is his crypto, like that's his coin. He owns Twitter, he owns X. So I think with that, even the speculation of that happening will cause the price to pump. So I don't think it's dead for that reason. I think buying it at 10 cents could beat a lot of other cryptos in the market this cycle, especially the boomer coins like Matic, Cardano, things of that nature. I think Doge is a much better hold than those. Right? If you're holding boomer coins, I think Doge beats all of them even AVAX, stuff like that. What narrative would router protocol fall under? Interoperability. AGIX, 38 cents, pumped up to 54 cents. Recently combined to ASI. Can you chart AGIX, please? It's ASI, right? AGIX doesn't trade anymore, does it? It's the FET token, lad. They're all the FET tokens. This is, I don't hold FET, AGIX, or Ocean, so I didn't pay attention to the entire merge. So it's just all confusing to me. Like, what am I supposed to chart? The heck is this? It just pumped up to 54. I don't see that. Still at 38 here. Look, I don't know the deal with this token, if it's ASI or AGIX. I don't know what the heck is going on. The token's in a very aggressive downtrend. And yeah, it looks like it wants to come down to 25 cents. Right? Even if it bases for a few weeks, quick wick to 25 and then maybe. But yeah, I don't know the deal with this token. This chart, it's not AGIX anymore. It's ASI. So I don't know if it's even worth any time at all to look at the chart. That makes sense. All right, last question of the stream, TIA. TARS protocol. Yeah, this is a good one. Very low cap AI play. And it's a Solana AI coin. And with that, it's pretty new as well, right? Where it launched in May after the NVIDIA GTC conference, after all the AI coins peaked. So it didn't get basically pumped and dumped already from the AI narrative. It's a bit more fresh, if you will. So I like it. Yeah. Also, the fundamentals are good. I've looked into this one before. It should be a good play. Now, sitting at this support at 10 cents. This is a good price. You can't say that this is a bad price, right? Down 60% from the highs. Traditionally speaking, 60 to 80% drops are pretty good prices. 10 million, 13 million market cap. If you can get it, say sub 8 cents to 6 cents, then yeah, that would be great, but it's not a bad time. Again, expectations are important, but holding this one for the next AI boom, which at this point probably going to happen next year or going into next year. Right. If you have that expectation in mind and you can wait, it's probably not a bad AI coin to build a position in. Again, 80-20 rule. 80% of the time, which is right now, when you get prepared for that 20% of the time where the market pays you in massive multiples. And it's basically like money is raining from the sky, and then it all dries up and it goes back to the brutal chop. So yeah, prepare for that 20% of the time. And now's the time to do that. TARS is a pretty decent AI coin to be building a position in. Still bullish on based AI. Yeah, I still think based AI is good too. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this stream. This will be the last time you see me in this room making videos. It's time to move on, and I'm so happy to be moving on. It's been brutal here the past 2 months, but we're moving on to greener pastures, and I cannot wait for the future. I'm very optimistic about the future. So yeah, who knows which location you'll see me in next, but you'll see in a few days this upcoming week. But yeah, hope you enjoyed this live stream. My name's Connor from Crypto Empire. Smash the like button if you haven't smashed the like button yet. And I'll see you all very soon. Have an amazing rest of your Sunday. Have a good weekend and a great start to your week.